Hello sweetie, welcome back to Kiss in the Kitchen. Today we're going to do some quick and dirty sausage rolls. They are super simple. We will need some sausage meat, some puff pastry, some toppings, a little egg wash, and we're good to go. So let's begin. So we're going to roll out our puff pastry. Well, actually we're not going to roll it out, we're just going to unroll it. Apologies for the rustling. Just going to pop it out and pop it down. I have rather naughtily just taken it out of the fridge as opposed to having given it a few minutes to acclimatise, but it'll be fine. So, puff pastry, down and out. Next job, we need to skin the sausages. So, we have 8-ish sausages in here. We just need to skin them to take the sausages out of the skins, and we'll be ready to go. So I'm just going to do a couple of them so you get the general idea. Cutting away from yourself. And just peeling the skin off. Not the most glamorous job, but quite necessary. Sausage rolls with the sausage skin on, not so pleasant. Palatable, but not so pleasant. So it is worth doing it. So we have, as you can see, skinned all of the sausages, which took maybe 3-4 minutes. We're just going to give them a quick mush, and we're going to add some herbs in here. I would say to you, green herbs are best, so mixed herbs, herbs de Provence, maybe a little basil, whichever green herbs you've got that are dried sitting in your cupboard. It's more to your taste than anything. And personally, as you all have gathered, I do like a little bit of spice, so I'm going to add in a little bit of paprika too. But if you don't want to add the paprika, perfectly fine. And then I'm going to wash my hands. So, here we are, lovely clean hands. I would say, let's call that about a teaspoon's worth of green dried herbs and a couple of shakes of paprika. Less than a teaspoon. Some mushing, just to kind of spread the herbs and spices through the mixture. Mushing, kind of fun if you've had a bit of a bad day. And if you're making quite a lot of sausage rolls but you haven't got so much sausage meat because you're cooking a bit late and the shops have shut, top tip, if you've got some stuffing at home, just mix up some stuffing, mix up maybe some dried old bread into it. It will stretch your sausage rolls, but don't put too much dried breadcrumbs in, just because it can have a slightly clawing, dry taste in your mouth. But we have top tips for that too. Righty, so that's us pretty much, as you can see, with our sausage meat all mixed up and our spices and herbs in there. We will get our pastry, wash our hands again, and lay our sausage meat out. We will be in the oven probably in the next 5 minutes. So here we are. We have our pastry all laid out. It's now had a bit of time to breathe. We're going to take our sausage meat. Typically I would split it in half because we might do 2 rows like this. If you were fluffing up your sausage mixture with some stuffing, you might do longer rows just because you can make more sausage rolls. So here we are taking about half of the mixture. I do this thing which is slightly disgusting, but it is very effective and slightly phallic. I apologise now. And you just kind of make it a very long sausage, and we just kind of pop it about here. And I'm going to give you my other top tip, which is kind of flatten it down a bit, because then you can work out where the middle of the pastry is, and you can make sure that both of them will be able to cover the sausage meat. Perfect. So, second one. Not the most exciting thing to watch, but as you can see, nice and quick. Perfect, and that is pretty much the same thickness the whole length through. Give it a little pat down again, which means we should have sausage meat both at the top and the bottom of the sausage rolls. And I'm just going to wash my hands again, get the egg wash out, brush the pastry, add some sauces and some sprinkles, and we'll be done. So here we are. I've got some I've got a cracked egg, which we're just going to use as an egg wash. You can add some milk into it if you want to. It's entirely up to you. We're using it partly to bind the pastry to itself, and partly also to get some colour in it when it's in the oven. Okay? So, with any sort of pastry brush, if you haven't got a pastry brush, I've used the back of a spoon before. Don't tell anyone. So, literally just giving it a light brush. Now, I was thinking, just to be a little bit radical here, we might do one with some mustard and the other with some sweet chilli, if you're game for that. So, take your mustard, obviously give it a quick shake. Hopefully, yes, give it a really good shake actually, so that it comes out quite solid and not very watery. And just kind of give it a squish down the middle. Perfect. And then we will get our honey, which if you joined us slightly earlier this evening, you would have seen a very funny incident with the honey. And we're just going to squish a little honey on top. Perfect. So that would be honey and mustard, which is very popular. The other one I thought we might try tonight is some sweet chilli sauce. But I have in the past, which has also been really popular, used some cranberries, but I would recommend you soak them in some water or some fruit juice first, just so they're not dried and bitty. So with a sweet chilli sauce, same thing as the mustard. Open it, give it a shake. Oh, oops. Oh good, no one saw that. And let's just pour some sweet chilli sauce down the middle. Cut our pastry in half. And we will quite literally just roll the pastry over on top of the sausage meat. And I know you're probably wondering why I used the back of the knife, not the front of the knife, and it was so that we didn't cut the paper. So literally we just pull it over, and because we've got egg wash on this side too, pull it over. And what I tend to do, please excuse my dripping chilli sauce, turn it that way, and then we'll just go over the top of it with some egg wash too, and we'll put some sprinkles on. So if you bear with me for a moment, we'll do the same thing to this set of sweet. Just lift it up. So just pulling it over. I'm going to give you one other really top tip. Sometimes when you're using the ready rolled pastry, you might want to put it in the fridge for a few minutes, particularly if you're putting it into a really hot oven, because you'll get a really nice puff on your pastry. So here we are, all rolled, rolling a sausage meat so that the crease of the pastry is on the underside, pushing in our sausage meat, checking that we've got sausage meat all the way through, which we clearly have. We will give it a brush. Give this a brush. Take sesame seeds maybe for one and poppy seeds for the other. Quick pinch, just kind of pinch them over. More if you like them, less if you don't. If you don't like them at all, don't put any seeds on. My friend this week tells me she tried using Nigella seeds, which I've never used before. So something for me to try later. And we'll put some poppy seeds on the other one. We'll prick our pastry to ensure that it rises. And we'll chop our sausage rolls into more manageable pieces. So some pricking. I'm going to get a slightly sharper knife. Please excuse me for a moment. And we'll aim for 6. So we'll go 3, 1, 2, 3, and we'll go for 3 here. So 1, 2, 3. And we'll pop them on a tray and we'll be popping them in the oven. So here we are on the tray. We've put some greaseproof on top of the tray just to make it easier to get them back off again. We are going to go into the oven for about 35-40 minutes at 220. We're going into the middle of the oven, kind of lower middle half of the oven. And if we need any extra cooking time, it will be more to brown it than it will to cook it. So, here we are. We were in the oven for 40 minutes, near the bottom of the oven, temperature 220, and this is what we have as a result of it. I'm going to give them a few minutes to cool down, but if we tap them, you can hear that they are quite crispy and they are cooked all the way. And I'm just going to, with my asbestos fingers, roll them so you can see even the bottom is properly cooked. Brilliant. So, bon appetit. Thank you so much for coming to join us with Keep It Simple in the Kitchen, or Kiss in the Kitchen. See you soon, sweetie.